ago. And then, of course, many years ago, we were talking about blockchain making huge gains. We were talking about other Ethereum is such a great investment, and I didn't believe it. But 3 years ago, I thought, okay, I got to do a bit of digging. So I started digging in Ethereum. I started buying a few things, and it just didn't resonate with me. So then I dig around, and then I came across Hedera. And thank you, Hedera is a big sponsor for tonight's event. And but I still had one more problem. The problem was smart contracts. And you put it on chain, and then you can't change it. And then when you find there's a bug, you have to go and change it all over again, migrate your users. And I thought, well, as an enterprise user, I know I'm not going to do that. So this is where I met two people who were what they call undocs. Nobody knows who they are. And we got to work with them, and we had a little bit of a journey over 3 years. First, just trying to figure out what they were doing. I actually launched my own little project called Decentral Realty, which is a tokenized real estate project for my house in Sri Lanka. It's built on their platform. And then we moved on to another project which was much bigger with the student iCards, and we issued verifiable credentials on chain. And that was really where we see, okay, this thing really works, the technology is mature enough, and there's lots more applications. Finally, I managed to convince them to come here. But they were still undocs. Let me welcome the three members of the HbarSuite team, Tom, Walt, and Mike.
By the way, let's go with introductions. I am founder and COO of HbarSuite Enterprise as well. I'm Walt, and we have here Mr. Mike Farah, our business manager and CEO, and we have also Tom, who's our CPO and founder as well. Okay. High transaction operational costs, lack of transparency, over-reliance on intermediaries, and identity management issues. In terms of like governance, whether if there is anything shady going on in companies, and we hear those things every day. One of the use cases that we have provided at HbarSuite is a multi-signature protocol that can either be utilized on a manual manner or also an automated manner. When we speak of programmatic multi-signature trust instead, is where you can basically have this wallet where, for example, you can tell, instead of the human to sign, you can tell some machines. And those machines have certain rules and conditions that everybody can read. And this is something really important today, because when you perform complex operations, you have to ensure a certain degree of trustlessness, knowing that you can trust. We have also created a decentralized self-custody method that kind of takes that issue away. And that's where like we're doing this with Banqua, which is like another use case that we have introduced, which uses our technology. Well, the Web3 potential regarding identity and documentation in Web3 is the self-sovereign identity solution where you, as a user, can manage your own identity just like you will manage your own crypto mobile. And it can be made in a way that is pseudonymous, very private and secure, but still public and verifiable by your own person with a system of on-chain encryption. So one big use case that we have achieved with our technology is the verifiable credential solution that all the Malaysian universities to this day have been users for foreign students who come here and study. This is our first big use case that we have had, that we made us enter the Malaysian market, and it's just the beginning for us, and it's really exciting. And if all goes well, I might thinking myself of moving here, but let's see how it goes. For our HbarSuite enterprise model, we have recently set up a corporation with 3 different locations, and for business inquiries, we have an email here one management.tech. And we recently opened also a Malaysian branch here because we really see the huge potential that there is in terms of like development, partnerships, and different types of solution integrations.
Well, guys, first of all, thank you very much for being here. Thanks, Hedera, for hosting us, and Path Labs, the team for your efforts. I just want to briefly share with you guys very quickly because we have the dinner later on. So if I go too long, they will hate me. So I should be fast. No one was still building a layer on top of it. So we said, okay, well, just let's do it. But we wanted to do it in a different way. We've seen in Hedera itself and in all the blockchains that many times people show faces and then they scam you anyhow. You know, they just take the money and go away. Can we be able to build something that is really solid into such a point that people don't have to even know who you are? Trust the technology behind it, and they can trust the fact that it can be solid enough to be used for communities, anonymous communities project as much as for enterprises. So we decided not to show our faces, not to show our names. How can we build the trusted layer? And then we've been creating the first usage of the multi-sig, and then we made an open call inviting some of the most reliable, well-known, at least social well-known people to join us as a council member. And we built this anonymous council, giving each one of them one key. So even though you would be willing to invest in the project, I would be able to prove that I could not even pay my own salary. Simple as that. I cannot, because there's 15 people that has to agree, and those people will agree and will accomplish the will of the community. So we built the DAO engine as first thing because we wanted the community member to be able to have a voice. They can create a proposal, they can vote, all the vote is verified on chain. And now we're just joining the next stage, which is it's basically how our business model works. So we've been starting from day one up to date, it's been 3 years, and everything will be in building, it's thanks to the support of our community. And then we managed to build what we call the zero slippage DEX. I don't know how many of you are familiar with DeFi, but it's basically a pretty unique product because you know what you pay and you know what you get before you sign. So there's a whole set of features, and all this is being built thanks to the community, and is going to be meant to be at least the 90% to be open source and released to the community for their usage, for their fun, for their professional project, for whatever they need. So the business model is mixed because we have the community open source on one side, and then we have the enterprise model on the other side. Our main idea is that we want to be thankful forever to the community by keep upgrading and releasing updates and fixes and security patches them, while we can run a parallel business for enterprises. And about that, maybe I will just leave the microphone to you because he's the one who runs the business on a global view. So, Mike Farrell. Thank you, guys.
All right, a lot has been said, and thank you for having us over here, and thanks for the whole organization. I remember Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur in a different way. It's changed a lot. As my partner as well said before, we already opened up a branch over here because we do believe it's going to be, this part of the world is going to skyrocket, and especially for technology, and that's what we want to be part of it. Some information about the corporation we've been built. The project is being born in a community way, but of course in the kind of shape